Has all the so now she will just tell us what it's all about.
Okay. Hi everyone. I am usually, like, you could consider like a bit of the project manager of the Nepal trips that have occurred in the past. And you know, about maybe 2 years ago, we developed a model, like an operating model, which we have been reusing in all our Nepal trips, and that has been successful so far, because we always take feedback at the end of each mission, and we try to incorporate the feedback for the next mission. Right? We don't have a projector here, so I can't show you pictorially what is the general process flow for a mission trip, but I'll just explain it, and in a future session we'll go through the process flow step by step, and hopefully by then we'll have the names, and I'll do an assignment of the names to their stations, at least for day one, so that we all know what our roles and responsibilities are for day one. Okay, so generally for a mission trip, and because this is new, right, the first day or first 1.5 days I used to basically to set up the clinic generally. I believe that Binay, who's the local contact there, he would have people there to help to guide to set up the clinic, in terms of, you know, having a pharmacy and the number of like doctors' clinics. So we have to determine how many doctors are going in total, confirm that number, so that we'll be able to identify the number of clinic sessions we can run, and also that will also in part determine the number of triage stations we will have at the same time, because the patients will be basically flowing through. Okay, so the normal process flow, right, is that when the patient first comes in, they are registered. We have a registration form which we have designed already, which will basically take a patient through from start to end of their entire visit. So normally when the patient first comes, they are given a form and they're given a tag. So we'll need to make these tags, or so later on I'll take that down, and maybe we'll find someone or somebody who can help out with that. So because normally we can't spell the patient's names or anything like that, right? So the locals will generally help us out with that, filling up the patient's name, their age, you know, male or female, that sort of general particulars. Then the patient will then next go down to the like the physical check station, which is basically where you take your height, your weight, your blood pressure, your temperature, right? So and then after, and that's all filled up in the form. Next, the patient is then sent to its triage station. So in the triage station, normally that's staffed with nurses, if we can, or people with a bit of mental background. So in the case where if we do not have sufficient people with a medical background, not to worry. Like in the past, we've had a sheet of questions to ask, and then basically based on that, then we will just write down the top 3 problems, with the person. Because what we found in the past is that normally they'll come in and they'll tell you all the problems that they have, and it could last for it could be like 20 different problems, right? And what we found is that when they go to the doctor, the real issue comes out. So we just limit it to the top 3, and based on the problems that they have presented, we will assign them to a clinic. So knowing which doctors and what specialties they are in will definitely help us, because when we assign the clinic, we'll have to write down the clinic number to so that the patient will then take their form and go to the clinic. They'll wait outside. There will be a queue system outside each clinic, and then when it's their turn, they go in, they see the doctor. The doctor will see them, and then after that writes down the prescription. Then the patient takes their form, the prescription. They'll go down to the pharmacy to collect their drugs, and when after they collect their when they collect the drugs, of course they'll need, they'll need to understand, what frequency they need to eat the medication and all that. Then they will return their form, they'll return their tag, their patient tag, and then they will leave the medicine. So that's the end-to-end process flow. So of course, like not only would we have doctor stations, we'll also have an eye clinic. So therefore, like say for example, in the form during the triage station where, let's say for example, a patient says they can't see very well, then you can ask further questions as to like why and is it at certain points, certain times of the day they can't see well, because sometimes it might just be, they might say something like, oh, it's just at night, or so basically to suss out whether they have myopia or that sort of thing, and then we'll refer them on to, let's say, the eye station. So at some times we'll have the patient going to multiple clinics, let's say for example both to the eye station and to see the GP at the same time. So then we have to be very clear in our forms which station they go to first and which station they go to next. Okay? So generally what I found that this operating model generally works. But we also need to be quite nimble and flexible in the sense that sometimes certain clinics might be very full, overwhelmed. Therefore, we will say if let's say we put everyone to go to let's say one of the clinics for acupuncture, for example, right? And we see there's a long queue, but we also see that the patient wants to get their eyes checked out. So we might say, go out to check out your eyes first before you go to acupuncture station. So theoretically, what we really need is a so-called project manager / runner who can help to sort out all these running problems and to help ease out, the patient queues and the load throughout. Yep. So I guess before. And normally after the clinic session every day, we will all pack up, and after we pack up, we usually go back. Sometimes we have a team dinner. We usually have a debrief to say, okay, so how do we find the end of the day? What is it that we need? How can we improve the processes before we start the new day again? And once we finalize, because I understand there will be 2 locations as well, right? So once we finalize who exactly is going and what are the actual dates of who's going to the second location and who will remain in the current location, then we can present that in the next briefing session.